This is not a video essay. I don't quite know what it is, honestly. For a long while I've been fascinated with exploring video games completely blind, knowing as little information as I could possibly gather about them. Most of the time, the game just ends up underwhelming or incredibly short or borderline unfinished. And yet, there are a solemn few times where the games I find take me down paths I never thought I'd travel and probably wouldn't choose to if I actually knew about it ahead of time. That being said, I wanted to try and give a piece of what one of my recent experiences was like. I was sent a Steam key to a video game that nearly nobody knows about by the developer themselves. Most of the time when searching for games, you inevitably come across promo images or a plot synopsis or even just the genre, but this time I had absolutely nothing to go on. And, right now, neither do you. So, let me take your hand and lead you into one of the weirder games I've stumbled upon. The Indigo Parallel.
Status: battery is full.
Okay. The game starts in some sort of facility. Going through a door on my left, I learned the very basic controls: WASD to move, E to use, and hit the button next to me. Oh. So after going down the eyes hallway, I find a room full of filing cabinets and pick the door on my left. With an absolutely blinding transition, I find myself here. Going to the perimeter of this city blocky eye area, I'm given the opportunity to save or destroy a bunch of random Photoshop-looking creatures, and okay, I feel like I missed something, to be honest. Deciding that I have no idea what the f*** is happening, I decide to reset the game.
Status: watermelon.
What? This time around I pick the door right in front of me, and things make significantly more sense. I'm apparently a man by the name of Tom Hellsworth, with special access to some sort of machine. I just need to find the code first. Oh, okay. We enter some type of railway cabin to a place named Kozan. Is this a horror game? This seems to be some sort of mining facility coated in pitch black darkness. It's hard to make out not only where to go, but where you even can go, but eventually I stumble towards the right spot. Is this a f***ing horror game? The answer is kind of. Warning on screen now. As I come to find out, the Indigo Parallel does not like being put in a box, and will kick and scream at any attempts to label it. Just past that scare is a face with a hand, and more importantly... Oh no. Oh, there's codes. There's a few interesting things on this board besides the language itself. There's an encrypted number showing 1984, specific designation not just for 0, but 00 and 000, and a different symbol for both O and O with a line over it, something that I never found relevant later on in the game. We see another mention of Signnacorp like we did on the ID card, and the number 6174 yet again. After writing down some symbols for later, which took like 5 straight minutes, we can start to decipher some of the messages around the mines. A paper on the table gives us a message from the Kozanian people, reading, "Our people moved into the mines in the year of the rock. Our people will thrive. The outside world is forever lost." Does this become relevant later? No. One of my favorite parts of discovering games blind is figuring out all their little quirks. How the movement is ever so slightly delayed, how the walking speed is too fast, making it awkward to move around, how you need to get uncomfortably close to buttons in order to actually click them, how when you pick up the single sphere it gets squashed in a cute little way that I assume wasn't intentional. The most polished games with an endless budget spend a great deal of time making them universally accessible, working for all kinds of setups and all kinds of people, but not everyone has that time. So sometimes the mysterious stone sphere you grab is squashed while you hold it, and I think that's a little neat. When you put the ball in the magical hand slot, you find yourself in a new area, one with a massive drill. Other than this game has been surprisingly cohesive so far, feeling mostly like a straightforward horror game. Okay. After drilling through the rock, we get access to a portal bringing us to a brand new area, where we're able to put Kozanian to more use. Right upon entering, we see a message saying, "This is a simulation," over and over again, one repeated throughout the area. There's a summoning circle in between 4 statues that I cannot seem to interpret no matter what angle I look at it. Like, seriously, what is this? As you go through the laser dodging puzzle, you see a sign spelling out ACLACA, a word that doesn't seem to exist in any language. Interestingly enough, the L symbol is reversed, the slanted line on it being mirrored to the opposite side. It's the same case for every single sign showing this code, meaning when you need to enter in the letters, clearly you need to do it in reverse. Alright. After entering in the code as normal and then entering in another code into another panel that was just kinda here for some reason, you finally get out of the cave. Apparently, the area we were in was just an attraction. This was an attraction? Yeah, that's what I just said. Indeed, the caves were apparently part of some type of building selling these experiences. Temple exploration, the ever-descriptive zombie game, and underwater monsters from another dimension. After exploring around a bit, though, I noticed a gun on the cafeteria counter. What genre is this again? The minigame doesn't last too long and is really rather simple, with slow-moving creatures and 2 total spawners, and it ends soon after it starts, revealing a hole in the wall. Oh, also you can push around the tables now. On the way out, you see papers on an exam table. Papers on an exam table reading, "Do you enjoy working for Signnacorp? Why? How will you recruit people to join our workforce? Are you happy? How is your mental health? Do you have suicidal thoughts? Elaborate. And is reality a simulation?" Despite all the weirdness in the game, there is seemingly a story trying to be told, a story we learn even more about in the next room. Once our gun is suspended through unknown means, we learn what Signnacorp is, a virtual reality company. An advertisement says, "Escape your miserable gray existence by plugging into our proprietary, mind-shattering, insanely immersive SimViz cinema. Experience a 360-degree audio-visual somatosensation experience that will launch you and your friends into unique worlds more realistic than the last. Smell and taste the cuisine of alien planets, shoot and soar across the sky, enslave people or save the day. Welcome to the future." Considering our employee keycard from the beginning of the game, well, the part after the, we seem to be some sort of test subject for new simulations. The Indigo parallel, at this point, seems to intentionally blur the line between presumed reality and these simulations, with even this room, the one that felt like you were back in the facility from the start, suddenly turning red and creepy and shit. The very next room has us execute a big alien for some reason, I don't know, and then this happens. No explanation for that, let's just move on. As one of the notes in the surveillance room said, there seems to be religious imagery spread throughout the game, in between various red things consuming you. Yeah, it happens again, and this time the sounds it makes are just unspeakable.
Status, Daisy, where are you?
And just like that, we're back at the start. Well, not exactly the start, as the right door is sealed off and a new one opened to our left. Finding a switch just kinda sitting there in the hallway, we flip it and suddenly find ourselves here. This whole area feels like nothing but a loose collection of assets, only existing because something had to be made for the area with no real reason in mind. We go around collecting what's best described as blue things, spelling out a concerning series of events.
What I once found delicious, I now find repulsive. The psychologist told me I had a mental disorder. I told the psychologist no, I am just different.
No, Daisy, I will not take those pills. Those pills are killing me. Daisy is a problem. Daisy is my only problem.
We loop around the level one more time and... Okay. Is this the f***ing back rooms? Yes, this is the f***ing back rooms. I don't know, it's just everywhere at this point, I guess. Oh look, New Tokyo. This is, so far, the coolest area I've seen in the game, and one of the most cohesive. The walls are littered with relics of old new technology, stuff like VHSs and CDs, things that were revolutionary in their time, but now are almost entirely out of use. The area captures that colorful, optimistic vibe of those times as well, with wild, emerging ideas of where technology could take the world, painting the color palettes as bright as the outlooks. Once we're actually inside, though, the vibe is a little different. While the screens are still bright and colorful, the city itself is depressingly gray. The streets are crowded with nothing but these weird robots, and everything is closed off or shut down. PCs are scattered all around, but all off and useless, feeling more like trash crowding the streets than anything of real use. Oh, also, I got stuck here for like 10 minutes. I tried opening doors, clicking on walls, seeing if pushing the robots around did anything, trying to go where I entered in from. It was driving me nuts. Until... Are you f***ing kidding me? I don't want to talk about it. Moving towards the only remaining light source, we're given an option of active or passive.
Status: I have no motivation to live.
Okay. The lady from before is back. Also, I got lost for another 5 minutes, I don't want to talk about it, until I found a switch and the game briefly became a puzzle game again. Once we're past it, we now find ourselves in a space station with a moving screen reading, "Want to leave Earth? If so, apply to the Janus. We are looking for medical doctors, system engineers, chefs, fertile women. Thank you." Entering the room to our left, we're met with occult decorations and a body on some sort of table. Taking the infamous eyeball object to the pedestal, okay. Oh, okay. You motherfucker. I told you this was kind of a horror game. After running away and doing a simple matching puzzle though, the game goes right back to just being... weird. Other than spotting our friend again, this area doesn't really have that much to it. Moving past it, we find ourselves in a spaceship, and in the spaceship nothing much happens either, really just playing an arcade game. Exiting out into an elevator, I was anxiously awaiting the next area. Why is this elevator ride so long? Anyways, coming out of it, we find ourselves with split paths. Oh, office space. Let's go to space. After talking to a person trapped in a computer for a bit, we get one of the coolest things in the game so far. Whoa. Now, before I explored the spaceship, I saw a bag with a QR code on it. I wish I hadn't. First I tried positioning correctly and scanning it with my phone. That didn't work. Then I tried screenshotting it, flattening out in Photoshop and scanning. Okay, that didn't work either. Next I tried to trace over the QR code in Photoshop to copy the cubes, and okay, this isn't gonna work either. Why would this work? Okay, so next I decided to rip the entire Unity game and search for that specific image through thousands of 2D textures, find it, realize it's cut in half so you need to Photoshop the QR code back together, export it, try to scan it on the website again only to be told I hit my limit on QR scans, go to a new website, have it fail to scan properly, go to a new website, have it fail again, try to reassemble the QR code in a different way, have nothing work, tear your hair out, regret your life choices, then realize the pixels were doubled on both sides of the halved QR code, cut one part off with a crop tool, and voila! Simple. So f***ing simple. And guess what? It just links to a trailer for season 4 of a show called The Expanse. Mystery solved. Apparently, other people scanned the QR code fine, I just didn't have any luck, I guess. Anyways, the rest of the space station is luckily a bit more remarkable than, that. Surprisingly, the movement feels fluid and the environment itself is very well done. As I floated throughout the station, I came across a split in the path. One saying Airlock 2A and the other saying Emu Suit. So obviously I grabbed the Emu Suit and start heading toward the airlock. After a few light scares, the glass in the airlock allowing you to float out towards, Jesus, apparently. Why is the bitrate bad in the video game itself? If you couldn't tell, horror games make me a little bit cranky. After the space montage, we're sent to this void with some being at the end of a long platform. The monitors in front of us show various screenshots and images, one including a binary sequence. Decoding this gives us the phrase "tychomagnetic anomalies," which from what I can tell is a reference to the Space Odyssey novels and movies, specifically to the monoliths central to the story. Clicking the monitor in front of us, we're given the choice to either accept or reject the singularity. I chose yes.
Status: is this reality?
The hub area, through all these resets, seems to subtly change over and over. Sometimes the door to your left will be open, sometimes there will be nothing but a wall there, sometimes a switch will be missing entirely, sometimes a few doors that were impossible to open are suddenly available, and sometimes it's, blue. This time around, the train we used to access the mines is completely gone, having just a portal that takes you to Cruelty Squad, I guess. This area seems to be a sort of creepypasta Pokemon town in terms of layout, asking you to grab colored keys to advance. Oh, also, this happens. Once we make it past the yellow door, we're given access to a VHS player where once we insert it, we're back in the mine. We're given the choice between the left to right or forward things, and choosing left, we're literally just shown a Photoshop mushroom trip. At this point, the game was genuinely starting to wear on me psychologically. I had no idea if there was an end to it, or if it was just a series of branching paths with no real logic to it. I was determined to find something, though, so I just kept going. We're teleported to a town square, find a murder scene, get teleported to a magical angel moonland, get sent back to the town but now all the creatures are eyes, find a big eye at the end of it, and choose between one of two routes. Everything turns red again for like the 5th time, and once we go through the door, it's the f***ing backrooms again. This time around, though, there is actually something to be found. After a computer tells us that it's time to see the truth, we're sent on a path with exit signs.
Daisy. Oh, Daisy. Where are you? I love you, Daisy. I miss you so much, Daisy. You are my life, Daisy. You are so cute, Daisy. Oh, Daisy. Where are you?
I don't like you when you are like this. If you want to make this work, please, take your pills. Tom, please take your pills. I don't like you when you are like this. If you want to make this work, please, take your pills.
This is Daisy.
Tom, please take your pills. I don't like you when you are like this.
What? Oh, okay, thanks for telling me. Ah, okay. I don't know about that. It is now time to introduce No! I can't play another game like this. Yeah, it's definitely not over. We're placed in a large area with creatures and a gun, and seemingly no instructions. This is gonna be a Spec Ops The Line thing where it's like, you're a murderer, you're evil.
I put a gun in your hand, and you decided to kill.
Oh my
How
God.
predictable.
Wow, cool. Is there 3? Is there 3 f***ing games?
Status: darkness will prevail.
So true. Knowing that there was apparently another ending, my goal was simply to find wherever that was. My first idea was to go back to the Cruelty Squad town, through the VHS tunnel, then to actually go into the mine and follow the green path. It's the backrooms again. However, this is the original backrooms area, so I simply kept following the path, all the way through to a room where a TV pukes on the ground that I don't feel like elaborating on, to be honest. We find ourselves on a staircase leading out of bounds, and then eventually into the mouth of this thing. Does anyone else feel like I'm speaking white noise right now? It's how the game started to feel for me while playing for too long, to be honest. You'd go into some room, have something weird happen, then move on to the next with apparently no cohesion to them. This cycle was genuinely having some effect on my mental state. However, I began to become more familiar with some aspects of the game. Once we enter the head, we're treated to a 2D scene with one of the alien characters and an eye. I gotta assume these two represent something. The eye probably relates to God or divinity, and the alien I'm not really sure, but before we can even guess, that section is over and we're in another spaceship. Following the puke still, I get to some type of teleporter and... I'm the Roomba. I'm a Roomba. This is honestly a really fun part of the game, but it also has its fair share of interesting choices.
Hey, Peter.
What? Despite the joys of being a Roomba though, at this point both me and my GPU were starting to fizzle out. After a brief puzzle switching between human and Roomba form, we find ourselves in a room shaped like a cylinder, and switching perspectives into this entombed body, slowly rise into the sky, in what seems like some type of ending. It's even a little graceful, with the rotating lights and changing of song giving an almost hopeful tone at the end of this generally dark or oppressive experience. It honestly reminds me of the end of Portal 2, but it's not quite over yet. In one final scene, we're in a deep blue office space. After searching around, we approach a glowing blue screen, one like the computer in the main menu, and...
I can rest easy knowing that we have come to this place. Can I forgive him? Maybe one day, but not right now. I know that work drove him to an insane place. But there is no excuse for what he did to me and the little one. The path to forgiveness is called the Indigo Perpendicular.
Okay, so cool. My exploration and patience were coming to an end, but there was one more thing I wanted to explore.
Status, normal.
Now that we're back to the original station layout, let's check out the eye hallway again. Strangely enough, the eyes were replaced entirely, something I only noticed while looking back at the recording. Taking the path on my right instead, we're placed into a lake scene, activating beacons like we did in the pyramid area. This was mostly just long and boring, and afterwards we were teleported to a dojo. Other than the Shadow Man, say hi to the Shadow Man, this area consists of getting to the end, seeing the pill-shaped head, and then redoing it. Are you f***ing kidding me? It's the backrooms again. As one last desperate attempt, I checked to see if there was at least one more path in the backrooms, and I stumbled at random into a section that actually provides the most story we've gotten so far.
This is the story of a man named Tom. Tom worked for a company in a big building and he was employee number 6174. His only job was to walk in the door on his left. Tom entered the door to his left. It was the door into his office. But something was different. The light in his room was a different color and his computer screen was blue, with the text "Press any key to begin." Tom pressed a key on the computer screen and a weird face appeared on it. Why did this happen? Why was the face so weird? Why is his computer acting like this? Then Tom remembered one important thing. That he is playing a game. Not just any game, but he was playing the Indigo Parallel, so of course a weird face would appear on his computer screen. Tom also realized that if he is playing a game,
His actions have no real-world consequences. Tom can do whatever he wants, without any repercussions, because this is a simulation after all. After a heated conversation with Daisy,
Tom picked up a knife. Tom woke up covered in blood, next to Daisy's lifeless body. It's just a simulation, right? I didn't actually do this, he thought to himself. I just need to wake up from this simulation. But there was no simulation. There never was a simulation.
Status, OpenEye.
And after this reset, I felt like I've experienced enough of the Indigo parallel. There is more to this game, significantly so. More endings and secret endings, more paths and weirdness and Easter eggs and codes to decipher. I haven't even deciphered all the ones shown in this video for you, and some I haven't deciphered at all. What's important to note about exploring games blind is that you don't need to find everything. Just the same as knowing nothing going in, you don't need to know everything going out. However, since I have you here, I'll tell you my thoughts about the game from what I have experienced. The story of this game is definitely shrouded in a lot of surrealism, but the general idea isn't too hard to get. Tom, the main character and who you play as in the story, has some sort of means of detaching from reality. It's heavily implied to be some sort of psychosis brought on by mental illness that he needs pills to keep from flaring up. That being said, there's also a lot of direct references to psychedelics and deliriant drugs in the story, especially mushrooms, with not just that drug trip scene, but heavily dilated pupils being shown as a texture in many different areas and branching paths. Tom has a shaky and often dangerous relationship with Daisy, his presumed wife that he has a kid with, eventually ending in Tom murdering Daisy or both of them. While the story and symbolism is a little obvious, I do like how the story fakes us out multiple times. You start believing you're a playtester for some corporation, only for that storyline to disappear as the game continues. These environments can be assumed to be Tom's delusions that he thought were just a video game. The Indigo Parallel's inspirations are worn right on its sleeves. The original email addressed to me listed LSD Dream Emulator and the Stanley Parable as primary inspirations, but it's also clear to me that space, and especially the surreal aspects of the Space Odyssey series, played a large part in it too. However, unlike those works that use weirdness and surreal aspects as a means to tell a greater story, it feels like the Indigo Parallel simply wants to be weird for weirdness' sake. The tagline of the email was, "The weirdest game you will ever play." And it does feel like most decisions made in the game put being weird over any sort of cohesion. And to be clear, that's perfectly fine to do, and was absolutely an intentional choice. Chris Donnellan, the solo developer of the game, doesn't normally make things like this. That QR code wasn't a random reference to a space show he likes. Before being a developer, Chris worked on all 6 seasons of The Expanse, and it's actually what got him into video game development. In his video talking about becoming a developer, he comes off as any normal guy, one with a strong passion for artistic work. While sifting through the files for that QR code, it really struck me just how much work goes into a game like this. Roughness maps, seamless repeating textures, thousands upon thousands of images, animation work, a full soundtrack, custom fonts, and so many parts for areas I haven't even seen yet and likely never will. In that video of his, he briefly talks about the Indigo Parallel.
And I guess the rest is history. I've been working on the game ever since, and I've been trying to create something very unique and artistic and expressive. And it really comes from a place of passion, and my goal is to create a single-player, first-person experience like no other.
And without a doubt, Chris has succeeded at that. I felt things while playing the Indigo Parallel that I haven't really felt while playing other games, both positive and negative. Mixes of a unique sort of oppressive atmosphere, random pop culture references, plenty of left turns, and puzzle solving. It feels like a Jackson Pollock painting that's sitting, rotting in a dark, dank room, a mess of colors and genres and ideas and themes that, while disjointed and occasionally just thrown together, still feel connected somehow. And that connecting point is none other than Chris himself. So, Chris, thank you for the Steam key and thank you for the experience. It's not one I'll soon forget. That being said, our journey into the Indigo Parallel is now over. The next video will be a video essay, I promise. To all those who joined me today, I don't know if I'll be making another video like this in the future. I might if people enjoy it enough, but regardless, I want to direct you to some game exploration sources if you want to give it a try yourself. For more videos similar to this one, I suggest checking the YouTuber Chariot Rider, whose channel is entirely dedicated to obscure and interesting games similar to this one. A channel named Hey Peter is starting a series about exploring games just like this one, with his newest video about Yume Nikki being surprisingly high quality for his channel size. I also suggest Rockley Smile's Indie Impressions series, a Let's Play series dating back 10 years of him playing incredibly obscure indie games. If you need a jumping off point, sifting through the whole over 1,000 video long playlist will give you plenty of choices to go off of. If you want to try out the Indigo Parallel yourself, it'll be linked in the description below, and I have it on high authority that there will be a small sale for the game from September 4th to the 11th. And with all that said, it's Patreon time. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more in the future, please subscribe to my channel. If you want to support me even further, I have a Patreon. Etc, etc. I don't feel like doing the whole spiel, but thank you to my Patreon supporters. Cecilio, Clear Was Here, Jared Chode, Mendel, Wallace de Morinville, Arkin Atlin, Brody Larson, Congruent Crib, Dankley Voidley, Edmund Dong, Essie, Great Value Gaming, Grinkle Stinkle, Lavender, MF Bitchboy, Tactical Cheese, Willem, words can truly not describe how much I hate this one human being, he is disgusting, ha ha ha, Zimborg, A Magic Muffin, Bestest Patron, Brian Jackson, Chris Gunter Zach, Fedimus, Gluggle Inhumane Bat, Mr. Headcrab, Mr. Trolley Molly, No Joke, Oatflakes from Outer Space, Ribbonaster, Robin Michael Becker, Cess, Shameful, Ted H, Terrifying Spoon, and Undersea Rexy VT. That all being said, thank you for watching and have a nice day.